Have you ever had a thought like, I'm not good enough, I'm going to fail, everyone else is doing better than me? When a negative thought gets stuck in our head, it doesn't feel like a thought. It feels true. That's why we built Still True, an AI-guided CBT reflection tool for thoughts that feel a little too true. We're a two-person team. I'm Young, working on product, front end, and back end. Sun Young works on model training, testing, and our local version. And we amplified our small team with AI tools for front end, design, and UX writing. Mental health awareness has grown dramatically. But when we actually have an anxious or negative thought, what do we do with it? One powerful approach is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Instead of simply saying, think positive, CBT asks us to examine the thought itself. What happened? Why does this feel true? And does the evidence actually support it? But there's a practical gap. Therapy can be powerful, but it isn't always accessible. CBT worksheets are accessible, but they can be difficult to work through alone. And meditation and journaling serve a different purpose. So we asked, what if a CBT worksheet could talk back? That's where an LLM can help. Here's how Still True works. First, you start with a thought that feels true. Then, you discover what triggered that thought. Next, you gather the experiences that seem to support it. After that, you investigate, separating what actually happened from what you concluded. Then, you reconsider what the thought might be leaving out. And finally, you build a balanced view, a more complete and realistic way to see the situation. Still, True doesn't tell you to just think positively. It helps you look at the whole picture. And we made 3 choices that make Still True different. First, one conversation doesn't fit everyone. Sun Young prefers a simple, distraction-free interface. I prefer something warmer, with visuals and ambient sound. So instead of deciding what calm should look like, we let users make the space feel like theirs. Second, GPU is precious. Not every interaction needs a powerful model. Structured tasks stay as UI. Light reasoning goes to a smaller general-purpose model. And we save the specialized model for the CBT-focused conversation. To the user, it still feels like one continuous experience. Third, privacy is part of the product. No login, no API key, no personal profile, no conversation history stored on our server. And if you don't want the cloud at all, Still True can run locally with an open-source model. But while building an AI mental health tool, we learned something more important. During this hackathon, there were moments when I was stressed and overwhelmed. I could spend an hour talking with an LLM. But sometimes, one sentence from a friend helped me more. And that reminded us, the best support is still human. Still True isn't here to replace therapists, friends, or human connection. We want it to be a small first step, a way to discover CBT, slow down, and look at one difficult thought differently. So before we finish, I want you to think of one negative thought that's been bothering you lately, something that feels completely true. Then visit stilltrue.versal.app. Bring us one negative thought. Let's see if it's still true. Thank you.